Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Jordan, and welcome to JC's Anime Reviews. And today we are going to be reviewing Kill la Kill. And this is one that I'm actually really excited to talk about. So we're just going to go right into it. I'm not going to spend any time with the intro. I just want to start talking about it right away. So we're going to get into it with the plot right now. After the murder of her father, Ryuko Matoi has been searching for his killer. The only lead that she has is the missing half of his invention, the scissor blade, and her search ends up leading her to the prestigious Honnoji Academy, a high school unlike any other. This academy is ruled by the imposing and cold-hearted student council president, Satsuki Kurien, alongside her powerful underlings, the Elite Four. In the school's brutally competitive hierarchy, Satsuki bestows upon those at the top special clothes called Goku uniforms, which grant the wearer unique superhuman abilities. Thoroughly beaten in a fight against one of the students in uniform, Ryuko retreats to her home, which has been completely burned down, and she ends up stumbling across Senketsu, a rare and sentient kamui. After coming into contact with Ryuko's blood, Senketsu awakens, latching onto her and providing her with immense power. Now armed with Senketsu and the Scissor Blade, Ryuko makes a stand against the Elite Four, hoping to reach Satsuki and uncover the culprit behind her father's murder once and for all. Going into this anime, I was really excited because it was written by Kazuki Nakashima and directed by Hiroki Imashi. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing those names wrong, but they're the same writer and director for Gurren Lagann, or Lagann, not sure how you pronounce it. And I loved Gurren Lagann, and I was just really excited. Knowing that made me want to watch it, because it's set on the Crunchyroll thing, it says made by the same people who made Gurren Lagann, and I was just really excited for that because I loved watching that anime. It was really good. And it has that same style to Gurren Lagann, where it's just super over the top fight scenes. And I really like the fight scenes. They're really good and just totally over the top and get completely crazy sometimes. And I just love it. That was one of the things I loved about Gurren Lagann. So I love that it was like this. And I really liked all the characters. I think my favorite character is Ryuko. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing their names wrong. I cannot pronounce Japanese names because I'm English, and I'm really sorry. I really wish I could. It'd be awesome to be able to speak Japanese or pronounce Japanese names correctly. But Ryuko is probably my favorite character. I really like her. She's very tough and doesn't really take shit from anybody, basically. If you piss her off, she just gets really mad and starts fighting. She's one of those characters. And I really liked her, and I liked Senketsu, which is, so she ends up getting him, or she wears this uniform, and it's activated by, it drains her blood or something like that. But the thing with Senketsu is that he's, sentient, so he's alive, and he can talk, but it's only Ryuko can hear him. So that, kind of creates this, really nice and unique, bond between them, because he can only talk to her, and no one else can hear his voice. And sometimes you get a lot of funny scenes where she's just talking to this outfit, and everyone around her thinks that she's just completely crazy because no one else can hear the outfit's voice. But I really like Senketsu, and you end up caring a lot about him too, even though at first he's just kind of like a piece of clothing that kind of seems like a weapon and makes her really strong. He ends up kind of having he has his own personality, and I really like Senketsu, and they end up becoming really close, best, or almost best friends kind of. And it's really nice, and I really like Senketsu. Also, another character that is one of my favorite characters in the whole show is Mako, which ends up becoming friends with Ryuko, and they end up becoming best friends. And she has these moments where she's just completely over the top. It's one of those anime moments where she starts doing a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. She'll end up just moving really quickly and moving her arms all around and making herself look different to try to act out certain things, and it's really funny. And she kind of tries to defend Ryuko anytime someone says anything mean to her. She has this thing where this light comes down on her, and she pops up and just starts I guess kind of going crazy, because she ends up sometimes she'll bounce around like crazy, or there will be 8 of her or something like that. It's one of those things that you only see in anime where the characters just end up looking really silly and stuff like that. So I really like Mako. I thought that she was really funny. She's probably one of my favorite characters in the whole show. I think the only other character that I'm going to talk about is Satsuki. For this video, I'm not gonna go like super in depth with every character. I'm just gonna talk about like my favorites and the main characters. So I think this is the last one. There's all really great characters throughout this show, but I just want to talk about my favorites and I think like the most important to the story. But I really like Satsuki. She kind of puts on this like mask in a way where like she kind of acts super tough or kind of is cold-hearted and kind of seems mean, but you get these really nice scenes where she's like by herself with this butler that she has because she's super rich, and I guess the butler like kind of grew up and or like watched her grow up in a way, and they're really close in that way. And you get these scenes where like he'll just bring her tea and like she kind of just she seems a lot nicer and is just kind of talking and kind of gets to be herself in those scenes, which I really like that they did that. And she doesn't just seem like this like really strong mean person all the time, and I really think that that kind of makes her a nice or a good antagonist. And I just really enjoyed her. I just thought that she was a really nice character, and by the end of the show, I really liked her, and she was one of my favorite characters. I thought the fight scenes with Satsuki and Ryuko were really good. I think one of my favorite fight scenes with Ryuko and Satsuki is it happens pretty early on in the third episode, I think. And this is minor spoilers, but again, this happens pretty early on. Is that Satsuki ends up getting Kamui 2. It's not like Senketsu though, where it can talk or whatever. It just gives her a lot of power, and there's just this really cool fight scene that I absolutely loved. It's probably one of my favorite fight scenes in the entire show. It's where both of them are fighting, and like there's just like buildings are getting destroyed, or not buildings. This school is starting to get destroyed because they're like just knocking each other into buildings. It's just this really awesome over the top fight, and for me, I wasn't sure how to feel about this anime. The first 2 episodes, I was a little like, because sometimes it seemed you had to get used to like the really over the top stuff in it, and I think by episode 3 I really liked this show. I figured I was gonna like it because I love Gurren Lagann or Lagann. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that Gurren Lagann or Gurren Lagann. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I really like that. And also, I've heard that this is so it's done by Studio Trigger, and it from what I was reading is that it's their first original like TV anime project, and it's not adapted from a manga, which most animes nowadays are all there's some sort of material like it was a book beforehand, like a manga, and they normally just take the manga and then turn it into an anime. But this one was an original work or a project that Studio Trigger did. That's like super rare, I feel like, with like anime, because it's normally always adapted from something, which I thought that was awesome. Really wanted to do research on this anime. This is probably the most I have ever researched an anime before. Normally I just kind of talk about it, and like I don't actually do that much research, honestly, but this is the most that I've researched it. There's an interview with the co-founder and producer for Trigger, and his name is Matsumoto Kazuya. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. There's a YouTuber that I watched called the Anime Man, and he did an interview with him, and that was actually really cool to see. I'll put a link in the description to that if you want to check it out. And that was kind of cool, just getting to hear from this, like, from the guy or the co-founder and producer for this company. And I'm just really fascinated and interested in all the works that they do. This is the first time where I've ever really wondered like who made this and what studio made this, and I was a huge fan of that interview. I really liked it. I'll link in the description if you want to check it out. And I just thought that it was really interesting just hearing about it, because it was just really interesting to me, this anime, like the way they did it, the art style and everything about it. I was just really fascinated by it, and I just want to see more works. I actually ended up, so they directed, this was made by Studio Trigger. I ended up getting this movie, Premiere, I think that's how you pronounce it, which he talks about that in the interview too. But I've heard that this movie is really good. I haven't watched it yet. It's still in the plastic. I bought it from Amazon, or off Amazon, and this was really cool. So I'm really excited to watch this. I'll probably do a review for it soon. I'll talk more about this if I do a review on it, so we're just going to leave it at that. It looks like a cool movie. It's made by the same people who made Kill la Kill, so I'm excited to watch it. When I do a review for this, we'll go a lot more in depth with a lot of the stuff on it. So now, in terms of things that I did not like about this anime, there's only like a couple things. One of them being is that the pacing sometimes seems pretty rushed, but that's kind of what they're going for here. They're kind of going for like a super fast-paced show, and sometimes that's good because sometimes there's no like boring talking moments. It's usually just like a lot of fighting, and sometimes that's really enjoyable, but sometimes it just feels a little rushed. But it's not that big of a deal. That's like kind of like one of the few things. And then maybe the story towards the end, it seems a little confusing and gets a little crazy, but but it didn't bother me that much. But I could see a few people kind of getting confused about the story or not enjoying it that much. But I still don't think that it was really a bad story. I enjoyed it. Now, also, if I was recommending this to someone, if you don't like super over the top and crazy fight scenes and sometimes like kind of silly moments, you probably wouldn't like this. For me, I really enjoy that sometimes. Like I loved Gurren Lagann because of how over the top and crazy it was. So for me, I really enjoyed that. But you may not. It kind of depends on the person. But if you don't like that, probably wouldn't recommend it. But either way, you could still find some enjoyment. You may not enjoy it as much as someone who loves over the top fights. But yeah, I still recommend it. It's still pretty good. So I will be giving Kill la Kill an A-. I really enjoyed this anime. I think Gurren Lagann's still better, but I really love this anime. I'll put links in the description to where to check it out. I think you can watch this on Netflix, actually, which I really like Netflix right now because I feel like they're starting to get a lot more anime stuff. I would definitely recommend this one if you want to go check it out. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know this one's a little bit longer. This one I just really wanted to talk about. Some of the videos have been a little long. I want to do like kind of shorter reviews, but this one just needed like a whole 15-minute video to talk about because I love this anime so much. And yeah, hopefully I will have the Promare, I think is how you pronounce it, Promare review out very soon. I still have to watch it again, and I still have to work on all my JoJo parts. I actually just finished rewatching all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so look forward to those reviews very soon. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, share the video around if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.